Welcome to 5th grade math. In this video, we will be covering dividing decimals by powers of 10. Our objective is to use mental math and place value patterns to divide a decimal by a power of 10. By the end of this lesson, we will be able to divide decimals by powers of 10. And just like when we multiplied by powers of 10, all we need to do is move the decimal in order to push all of the digits to the correct place value. Now, when we multiplied by powers of 10, we moved the decimals to push all the digits in order to increase the value. Now we are dividing, so we are going to decrease the value. So we want to move the decimal in the opposite direction. This means our decimal point is going to be moved to the left. Now let's review, let's remember which are these powers of 10. These are numbers like 10, 100, 1,000, 100,000, 10 to the first power, 10 to the second power, and so on and so forth. And these are the numbers that are going to help us know how many times we are going to move our decimals. So we have two problems on your screen. We will solve them together and then you will try some on your own. So let's get into the first one here, and we have 9 divided by 10. So what this would look like if we wanted to work it as a long division problem, then we would have something like this: 9 divided by 10. But our divisor out here is a power of 10. So we can just move the decimal point in the 9 in order to push it to the correct place. And we get the right answer. So where does the decimal go for a whole number? Hopefully you remember it. And it goes right after the whole number. In this case, 9, and the decimal point would be placed right after it. Just like when we multiply by powers of 10, you look at the exponent or the number of zeros in your power of 10. So I'm going to come over here and move the decimal in 9. So we have to think which way to move it. We know that when we multiplied, we moved them to the right to increase the value of the number. Now we're doing the opposite procedure. We are dividing, so we want to decrease the value. Therefore, we will move the decimal point to the left. So we are working with 10 as a power of 10, and there is 1 0 in 10, so we move the decimal point 1 time to the left. Okay? So now the decimal point comes before the 9, so our answer is 9/10. Okay? Now let's work with a second example. We are now looking at 7 2/10 divided by 10 to the second power. In the second example, we are working with exponents. Since we are working with powers of 10, or whenever we work with a power of 10, these being 10, 100, 1000, or 10 to the first power, 10 to the second power, and 10 to the fourth power, we are not going to use long division. We are going to make it easier by looking at either the exponent or the power in the exponential notation, or counting the number of zeros in the power of 10. In 7 and 2/10, there's an exponent or a power 2, and this tells me how many times I will move my decimal point to the left. Remember, so the exponent is 2, meaning my decimal point will be moved twice. So let me count. That's 1 time, 2 times. And this is going to be the new home of our decimal. So this brings us to the answer, which will be 72,000. I hope this video has made it clear for you and it's easy for you to understand this topic. I am sure when we start working and you start practicing, there will be doubts, and we will be there to clear those doubts and to practice because this is the best way to learn math.